Starting from zero again is a beautiful thing, even though most people are terrified of it. They hear the word zero and imagine failure, humiliation, loss, and shame. They think of empty pockets, broken relationships, wasted time, and dreams that didn't survive reality. But what they don't understand is that zero is the only place where you are truly free. Zero is where the mask comes off. Zero is where expectations die. Zero is where the real game begins. When you have nothing, you have nothing to lose. That's not a weakness, that's power. The world is cruel to people who are climbing, but it is ruthless to people who are falling. Everyone loves you when you're winning. When you're successful, smiling, wearing confidence like a suit, people call you inspiring. But when you fall, when life strips you down to nothing, suddenly the room gets quiet. Messages stop coming, smiles disappear, respect turns into pity, and that's when you see the truth. That's when you understand how fake the applause really was. Starting from zero forces you to see people clearly. It teaches you who was with you because of your light and who was only enjoying the warmth. It shows you that loyalty is rare and belief from others is conditional. But here's the joke. You don't need their belief anymore. Zero is where you stop living for applause. Zero is where you stop trying to impress people who wouldn't stand beside you in the dark. When everything collapses, when your plans fail, when your identity shatters, it hurts. Of course it hurts. Pain is the entrance fee to transformation. You don't rebuild without breaking first. You don't grow without bleeding. You don't evolve without losing the version of yourself that couldn't survive the next level. Starting from zero feels like death, but it's actually rebirth. Just without the applause, without the flowers, without anyone clapping for you. At zero, you stop pretending. You stop chasing validation. You stop explaining yourself. You stop begging for understanding. Because at zero, explanations don't matter. Excuses don't matter. Titles don't matter. Only one thing matters: what you do next. That's it. That's the whole game. One move at a time, one decision at a time, one step forward when everything in you wants to quit. There's a strange peace that comes with having nothing. No expectations, no pressure to maintain an image, no fear of losing status because there is no status left to lose. You can experiment, you can fail quietly, you can rebuild without an audience. And that's dangerous, not for you, but for the world that underestimated you. People laugh at someone starting from zero. They whisper, they judge, they say things like, "He's finished," or "She'll never come back from this." But what they don't realize is that starting from zero means you already survived the worst. You've already been embarrassed. You've already been broken. You've already tasted rejection. So what exactly are you afraid of now? Another failure? Another fall? You've been there, you lived through it, and you're still standing. Zero sharpens you, it hardens you, it strips away softness, illusions, and fake confidence. At zero, you learn discipline because motivation is gone. You learn patience because results don't come fast. You learn humility because ego has been burned to the ground. And in that silence, in that loneliness, something dangerous is being built. Focus. When you start from zero, you stop talking and start moving. You don't announce your plans. You don't seek approval. You don't need permission. You just work, quietly, obsessively, relentlessly. While others are laughing, you are learning. While others are sleeping, you are building. While others are busy remembering your past, you are designing a future they won't see coming. The Joker was never afraid of chaos. He understood that when the system fails you, when society turns its back on you, when rules only benefit the powerful, chaos becomes a ladder. Starting from zero is chaos, unstructured, unpredictable, uncomfortable. But chaos is honest. Chaos doesn't pretend. Chaos doesn't lie to you.
It shows you the raw truth. No one is coming to save you. And once you accept that, you become unstoppable. Starting from zero teaches you self-reliance. You stop waiting for opportunities and start creating them. You stop blaming circumstances and start controlling your reactions. You stop asking, why me, and start asking, what now? That shift alone separates survivors from victims. At zero, your mind changes. You stop thinking like someone who wants comfort and start thinking like someone who wants freedom. Comfort makes you lazy. Comfort makes you fragile. Comfort makes you dependent. But zero makes you hungry. Zero makes you creative. Zero makes you dangerous in the best possible way. Every great comeback in history started at zero. Every legend was once invisible. Every powerful figure was once laughed at, ignored, dismissed. They didn't rise because life was kind. They rose because life was brutal, and they refused to stay down. They used rejection as fuel. They used pain as training. They used loneliness as focus. Starting from zero forces you to redefine success. It's no longer about money, fame, or recognition, not at first. It's about progress. One small win, one disciplined day, one promise kept to yourself. And those small wins stack up quietly until one day people look at you and say it happened overnight, not realizing it took years of invisible suffering. You become emotionally strong at zero, not because you don't feel pain, but because you don't let pain control you. You learn to sit with discomfort. You learn to move forward even when motivation is dead. You learn that confidence is built by action, not by praise. And slowly, without realizing it, you become someone different. The world fears people who have nothing to lose. They can't be controlled. They can't be threatened with fear or comfort. Starting from zero gives you that power. It frees you from dependency on opinions, approval, and external validation. And here's the beautiful part. When you rebuild from zero, you rebuild it your way. Not based on expectations, not based on pressure, not based on what society wants, but based on what you've learned, what you value, and what you refuse to tolerate ever again. You set boundaries, you choose wisely, you move differently. People will notice the change, but they won't understand it. They'll say you're cold, distant, different. Let them talk. You're not cold, you're focused. You're not distant, you're selective. You're not different, you're evolved. Starting from zero teaches you gratitude, not for comfort, but for strength. You appreciate how far you've come because you remember how low you were. You don't take progress for granted because you know how hard it was to earn. And that gratitude keeps you grounded, even when success returns. Because success will return, maybe not in the same way, maybe not in the form you imagined before, but it will come, stronger, wiser, more stable. And this time, you won't be careless with it. This time, you won't confuse attention with loyalty or money with meaning. Zero builds character. Zero builds clarity. Zero builds resilience. It turns pain into wisdom and failure into experience. It makes you laugh at things that once broke you. It gives you a dark sense of humor about life, not because you're bitter, but because you understand how absurd the game really is. Life doesn't owe you fairness. It owes you nothing. And once you accept that, you stop feeling like a victim and start acting like a creator. You stop asking for justice and start building power. That's the Joker mindset. Not madness, but freedom from illusion. Starting from zero again is a beautiful thing because it proves you're still alive, still breathing, still capable of choosing. As long as you can choose, you can change. As long as you can move, you can rebuild. As long as you haven't given up, the story isn't over. So if you're at zero right now, don't curse it. Don't run from it. Don't numb yourself to it. Stand in it. Feel it. Learn from it. Let it burn away everything weak, fake, and unnecessary. Then start again, quietly, patiently, fiercely. Because the most dangerous people aren't the ones on top. They're the ones who have been to the bottom and came back smiling, not because life became easy, but because they became strong. And when you rise again, not if, but when, you won't need revenge. You won't need to explain yourself. Your presence will be the answer. Your discipline will be the message. Your silence will speak louder than any words ever could. Starting from zero again isn't the end. It's the plot twist. It's the moment the character changes. It's where the real story begins.